Hello everyone, welcome to Awaken Positive Power, where me, Jemima Godsall, and my beautiful co-host, Darcy Marta, are here to talk to you about mental health problems. Just before we get started, I am also an ambassador for Theraexpressions Meditation in Casper, Wyoming, and we are also presenting these conversations to that group over there. Mental health matters, that is our opinion, everywhere, our quote, our standby. This is where both companies, myself and Theraexpressions and Darcy, stand by what we talk about. Mental health matters, people. Just before we get started, there is a disclaimer down below. And of course, there is 1-800 numbers for international people, but in America, there is the new number 988. Simple number. I hope the rest of the world gets in tune with that because it's really simple, very easy to remember. And also it's for you or for anyone else that you know of who's in trouble, or if you are thinking of someone else is in trouble that you don't know how to deal with, you can also bring that number anonymously or claim your name. Doesn't matter. Just make sure you know you're never alone.
Right.
Darcy and I come to good morning. We come to you each week bringing different topics. And this week we had an interesting topic because Darcy and I had a bit of a thing going on. It was I had a major faux pas, briefly. I read a blog of gratitude for this amazing things that I've been receiving from people who are generally strangers, which is my only weakest excuse around this sort of tension we had. And it was about saying thank you to these gifts people have given me in regards to scholarships and to helping me move forward with my business. And who's the number one sitting opposite me who's giving me all that? Miss Darcy. So there I am thanking all these strangers. And then I didn't, honestly, I didn't even think about it. And
I know, it's no problem.
I know, but it's heartbreaking because it's not okay. And that's one thing that it wasn't just me, but it's sometimes humans do this to the closest people they love. And that's just, it irks me about one of the parts of our nature, which does this because it's so not okay. You should be at the top of the list. And thank God you did get a blog about yourself because I felt so bad. I just wanted to claim to everyone, say, I fucked up, pardon YouTube. But I did, I fucked up because that's so with human nature, not because it was callous or malicious or anything conscious, but it was just so heartbreaking to think I didn't even.
Well, and I didn't, want to text you or however I messaged you. I didn't want to say, you need to thank me. I didn't want it to be that way. What I wanted to communicate was, hey, when you're putting all these professional companies that you are working with and getting scholarships from, remember that you have worked with my company, which is called Frame of Mind Hypnotherapy, that you've been working with my company, me, all this time, and I've been giving you scholarships and support as well. So I wanted to be included in the professional
business side,
that you have been acknowledging. So and that happens often. It
does, but too often, and it shouldn't, because it's like you should be. I know what you're about to say, and you'll tell these guys, but it's the people who have the qualifications who you can go, hey, because I'm family or friend, I can go, hey, yo, and usually generally people can help. But it's like we forget how much of, not a sacrifice, what a gift it is, because it is time, it is just the same amount of energy, if not more, because you are friends or related or whatever, because there's much more care involved, a different sort of level of care, not much more, but just a different level of care because of the relationship. But it's surprising, isn't it? It's like, why do we shun the closest people near us? And there I am listing off these strangers, pretty much, going, yeah! And here's Miss Darcy coming every Saturday and helping me out with my emotional traumas and ooh! And I'm like, nothing. Like, it was really hard. And it's the way we laugh now, but it was a hard lesson to learn because I felt like I punctured a precious vibe between us, which I think it hasn't, because I think Darcy and I have handled this really well. I think hopefully it will make us closer because we realize how good friends we are to be able to just be honest. But it's just humans, be careful. Go and hug that one you love. Go and tell them how freaking awesome they are. Thank them for their breakfast. Thank them for making the bed. Thank them for waking you up, whatever it may be. And just, appreciate them, continuously appreciate them. You can never do it enough. We'll never do it enough.
I think that it's also acknowledging the people in our lives, they are, our mothers, fathers, brother, sister, friends, etc. But they are also professionals who've studied, and oftentimes, and I've done it people have done it to me before also, where we want to go to somebody who's a professional and ask them a professional opinion, but we don't want to pay for it because we're friends. And sometimes that's totally appropriate. Absolutely. If I have certain people come to me, I would never charge them because of my history and what we do. And for yourself, you and I have an exchange program. You have your Pilates and exercise that God knows I need more than anything in the world. And
Get that does.
yeah, and you would never charge me to give me an exercise class, right? Look at that.
Never.
We have this exchange understanding. Absolutely, we do. I have it with the woman that I learned this particular type of hypnosis from. Now, she developed the restorative hypnosis, and she would never charge me. And similarly, if she called me for anything, I would never charge her, right? We do a professional exchange, we work with each other.
But can I say, you still get recognized. Like if you're writing a blog about it, which is an obvious blog to the rest of the world, it's a informative blog about people, and not include that professional is. And especially when we're interacting today, even though it wasn't, it's not like years ago we did this. We're together every week, and to unconsciously forget to connect that with strangers and respect your professionalism, or even recognize it, because I'm just like, oh yeah, friends, one of my closest friends. Yeah, I'm unfortunate. It's like dismissive, and it's so messed up as a human trait we have.
Yeah, we just have to remember, like when I write my resume, my friend Lisa Hubler with Mind Matters is on my resume, and all the people I've studied with are on my resume, even though I have known her as a close friend long before she was a hypnotherapist. I have known her since 82.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, since 1982. And so, I've watched her develop this technique that now I am using, right? Similarly, if she was going to ask me for whatever, because I do a variety of things as a medical intuitive, as a dream interpretation, that sort of thing, she would she would recognize that as well when she talks to people about what I do as an acting teacher and a director, etc. I'm eclectic.
Yeah, of course you are, and that's fantastic. And that's the thing too. Like, you've got so many skills that I know I tap into. Like, you've been my mentor since 1998 as a director initially, and then the healer, and then now we speak, and we can give each other information on this channel, but also with the hypnotherapy. And it's just like, I have eclectic skills, and here I am going, thanks, whatever, and I just felt the dismissive, and I don't want to make it just about you and I, because I know humans do it, but that dismissive nature of, and it is not, most of the time, some people are callous, but generally people don't even realize, like I did. I was like,
don't even realize.
What is that about human nature? How can that be?
I think it's the familiarity. We're used to having that person be there. I think I use that.
Shouldn't it be more? You know what I mean? Like, are we weird as humans to not embrace that person even more, because they are there all the time? They are giving more and more all the time. Like, wouldn't you think the right way, if you write it out, you think, which one would you think? The one who's done it one time, or this person who's been there for like the last 20 years? You'd be a 20-year person. You see it on paper. But then our nature, human nature, is to just dismiss the 20-year person and put the new person at the top of the list. It's like, why do we do that? It's like, because it's not, I think we as humans are way better than that. Way better than that. And when we're consciously brought to awareness and we go, oh my God, no way, I didn't mean to do that. Of course you're at the top of the list. Like, what is it? Why do we have these weird traits that just dismiss our goodness, our good qualities, that make us feel like a really shitty person, and really not expressing the right appreciation for each other as we should?
I think, part of it, like I said, is the familiarity, that we have a tendency in our minds to categorize things, right? So a long time ago when I was teaching acting classes, one of the things I told my actors is never put your extra work on your acting resume, because they will see you as an extra, and it will take a really it'll take like a volcano to get people to see you as an actor rather than as an extra. So don't even put it there. And everybody was like, but I got to be on this movie set. And I said, yeah, it doesn't count. And you tell people you're an extra, then they're going to really dismiss your qualities. And so we do that, oh, that's my sister, or, oh, that's my old friend. And because we've seen them in, vulnerable, we've seen them when things were not going well. And so it's hard to separate the person from the life experience a lot. I was saying to you the other day, I have a friend who cuts hair. All of her friends and family are always asking her to cut their hair for free, right? They are always asking her. And finally, she had to just tell her family, I don't cut anybody's hair for free ever anymore. Because when I do it for you, I have to do it for everybody. And that's my job. I don't want to bring it home. I think she cuts her husband's hair for free. But it's kind of like that syndrome. Or I have another friend whose sister is a dentist. And so everybody, all of her friends and her family walk up to her and they ask her dental questions. They're like, you have this tooth issue? She's like, I'm at dinner right now. Do I have to issue? So, I think that's part of it, that familiarity makes us kind of go, yeah, but, oh yeah, I'll get to you later, because right now I got to deal with these really important people that are going to make my career happen and my life happen. And
horrible. It's a horrible trait we have as humans.
We have to just, that's what being mindful is about, and I think that's what's so exciting about this whole mindfulness movement that's happening right now, that people are really understanding what mindfulness is about, that we really look at our actions before we take action, or we really look at where we are in this moment as we're experiencing this moment, And
Darcy, can I ask one question? Can you just hold on for 1 second? I've just got to put it on mute. Sorry, guys, I'll be back in just 5 seconds. Hold on.
Okay. So that's what I love about Jemima, is she's unexpected.
Hello. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, yeah. So I know that mindfulness is exciting, because we are being able to be conscious of everything, especially our interpersonal relationships. I mean, Darcy, this is one thing, as I said to you the other day, it's sad that it happened with you, but what a beautiful. It really hit me hard, because I was so ashamed and shocked that I'm so consciously aware of my relationships, especially after coming out of them. But to be in that vulnerable situation where I did hurt you, and not without meaning to, but so it was looking at it going, bah, like I wish it didn't happen with you, but I'm so glad that lesson came in, because we all have to keep on learning and relearning and reestablishing ourselves in terms of our growth. But it's just something that I really don't like about humans, and I want to never do that again. Never, ever, ever, ever.
You. I mean, you're kind of lucky that it happened with me.
Well, I know I'm lucky it happened.
I can say, hey,
I wish, yeah.
By the way,
I wish it did happen with you, because you don't deserve that. Like, she doesn't deserve that, guy. She's an amazing. Like, look up her hypnotherapy. What's it called again? Say, plug it.
Frame of Mind Hypnotherapy.
Frame of Mind Hypnotherapy. Look up. She did a session with me yesterday. Even more ironic, we booked this session before I even wrote this blog. My God! But yesterday's session in itself was, you're an incredible hypnotherapist. Like, you're an incredible worker. You have a gift and skill for your craft. And I was blessed to have this session with you that she gifted me, guys. I mean, the plot thing is like, wow, how could I forget to put her in my blog? But she's my friend. She's my young 20 plus year old friend. No excuses, guys. Anyway, so let's shift at that. Darcy, your hypnotherapy was amazing yesterday. Absolutely incredible. Darcy did this hypnotherapy because I've been stuck in the rut. If you saw maybe the week before, I was talking about how I fell into an old pattern of jealousy, and it triggered me, and it was really harsh to see how I fell back, way back into my post-traumatic stress, really. And it triggered me into something. And so Darcy, bless her, offered to help me with some hypnotherapies, just try and release this past, my ties to my past trauma. Bring it on, please, help me, anything I can. And yesterday, man, I went in feeling, I was okay yesterday, fine. But afterwards, I lay on the floor going, hello, hello. Like everything I was blissed out, and I got a lot of good feeling from it, and it was interesting to feel disconnected from my past, but more in my present moment. That's what I was feeling raw yesterday. I was feeling much more available in my present with my lover, with my situation. Not that I'm not all every day, but really because I was more conscious of it because of the hypnotherapy, more conscious of saying, what am I going to feel? How do I feel? And I was thinking, I really feel some ties were cut. And it was genius work from you. And I do want to listen to it more. There were 3 sessions, are there, Darcy, you were saying?
Yeah, so my dear friend Lisa Hubler at Mind Matters Hypnotherapy has developed a system that I have adopted that I love, right? So she's created restorative hypnotherapy, which is like deep trance work, and it combines restorative yoga, deep trance hypnosis, and then I add in my own special twist of spiritual counseling and intuitive work. So the 3 sessions idea, which also Lisa Hubler has created, is the idea is that the first session is we're working to get you to feel safe and reset your nervous system. So a lot of time what's going on with this is our nervous system is all upset from trauma, right? And even though we're feeling okay on the exterior, on the interior, we're still trying to deal with the trauma. And so there's this a misunderstanding in our subconscious about safety, feeling safe, and oftentimes we act out of self-preservation and trying to feel safe. So the deep restorative trance restores those feelings of safety, support, and resets the nervous system so that we're not acting out all the time, so that we can actually be back in the body. And once you're back in the body feeling safe and supported, then your body can start making more conscious choices. It can calm down instead of being reactionary, and you can become more mindful. And you can also, things lose their importance. Part of the thing about past trauma is our attachment to the trauma. The trauma is over, it's in the past, it's done, we're finished with it, right? But our attachment to it is, and it clings to our organs, to our cells, to our body.
Keeps you present in it. It keeps you present
right.
in it.
It keeps it going. It keeps it alive. So if we can release the attachment, then the past trauma can be there without the importance. And then it can be something that we've learned from and grew wiser from and can move on from or help others with. So this work really helps release that attachment. The second part of the 3-part session is that it's about letting go. I can hear the hawk in my tree right there.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Is about letting go. So once you feel safe, supported, and your nervous system is reset, now you can really start letting go. So that's the second session. And then the 3rd session is all about making space. Let's bring something new in. So that's what you and I are working on. That's what I work on with other clients. And of course, there's always something else people need, like, surgery or etc. But if people come to me for grief, I always suggest that 3-part set of work. If people come to me for weight loss, it's a totally different scene. It's a 7-part program. And
It does.
Something again.
Can we continue this conversation? Because I think it'd be really good to not only just to educate people about the hypnotherapy, because people have have strange versions of hypnotherapy, especially because for like in the 1920s films of I'm going to trance, all that sort of stuff. So can we continue this conversation when we come back next week? That'd be awesome.
I just want you to know, Jemima, thank you so much for really taking to heart that conversation. You know, it's like I really thought about it, and before I messaged you and said, you know, I just want her to be aware, because it will come up again. You know, it will come up with other people, and I've experienced it with others in the past, and I really wanted you to understand that when we acknowledge people that are in our sphere, there's so many people that have brought us to where we are right now, right? There's so many people. And so when we do start saying thank you, you know, thanks for that recent scholarship I had. And let me just go back and say thank you to, you know, the fact that they fed me for an entire year. Whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So thank you for being so receptive. I also have squirrels running around here. So being so receptive and hearing what I was trying to say, and I really appreciate you listening to me.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, Darcy, you were very gentle. The way you presented your text was with the positive first, and that's why I knew I saw the writing in it, and I was like going, and that's beautiful, because you embraced what I was doing, and then you pointed out that, you know, you suck kind of thing. In the most gentle way, guys, she wasn't at all. It was very gentle and very constructive. But my heart broke because it was personal. It's you're not an acquaintance, and all these people were acquaintances. But who gives a hoo-ha? That doesn't matter. It was the people who have affected me, have brought me into these positions, and you are number one on that list. So I appreciate you for presenting it in such a gentle way. And I love that you and I have been able to be honest and talk. And as I said to Darcy yesterday, I hope this strength, I think it will strengthen our relationship, because we're totally 100% honest with each other, and not offensive, not defensive either way. And know that we really are coming from a place of love, and that's all that matters. You know, I love you, man. So I never want to hurt you. And I love to be able to say honestly, thank you. And just, you know, tell the world that to say thank you too, because now they know I love you too.
That's right. So you want to see something really funny?
Yeah.
So I'm pulling cards, because I know you wanted me to pick out a card, right? And so a card fell out, which they always do. I always wait for the card to fall out.
It's not the same one, is it?
No. I use different card deck, you know, what's her name? Sandra Ann Taylor's energy cards, right? Yep. And the one that fell out was number 14, Caring Connections.
Oh my God, you cannot make this up.
Caring Connection.
What the hell? That's amazing. Okay, bring it on, Darcy. What's it say?
Okay, it says, and that's if it's upright, which it was. So this card shows a couple in tender embrace, the woman holding blossoms of new love. And like the community card, this reveals a caring connection, but usually between two people only. This card, upright, signals the beginning or deepening of a kindred spirit friendship or the appearance of new love. It can also signify formal business partnership.
Oh, wow.
When this card appears, be on the lookout for new connections presenting themselves. The relationships you already share may become more purposeful or present at this time. Notice the opportunities to forge new and deeper bonds. There may be a tender karmic connection at hand. So it says, the affirmation is, I open my heart and life to truly caring connections. The ideal friends, partners are coming to me now and are already here.
Oh, goosebumps. That's beautiful. That's so for you and I, Das. Bless you. You are such
I'm not so thrilled about the painting, but I really like the idea of the card.
And I think, Das, you are one of my most cared for connections, and cared on both ways. I care for you so much, and I know you care for me. I honor your continuous respect and guidance and friendship for all these years, even when I've been in and out because of my drug addiction and my hoo-ha. Like, you've still been a rock to be able to come back to. And I thank you. I never want to ever not know that you are. Thank from the bottom of my heart full of gratitude. I love you.
Yeah.
And guys,
Jemima, I have great faith in you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, right before we start crying, we're going to come back next week talking about hypnotherapy. Get your book out. Like, let's get pen and paper and like write out some notes, because it's very interesting what Darcy does. Love you guys. Don't forget to like, share. Peace out. Thank you, Darcy. You're amazing. Bye.
Yeah.